Hey everyone, it is Daki and thank you for coming back to the channel. So, we're going to finish up the Paladins, and in particular the Holy Paladin is the last one to look at. Now, before we get into it, I will also say that the structure of this video is going to be ever so slightly different due to the 8.0 pre-patch being out. I'm no longer going to cover the talents and where they lie within the talent list. However, I am still going to cover the changes you will be seeing in the pre-patch and furthermore into Battle for Azeroth. So stay with me guys, there are a lot of changes coming to the Holy Paladin and a lot of it is just reworded abilities, and this is just to make it read better and understand better as you're playing the game. All other than that, there is not a huge amount of changes coming to the Holy Paladin as a structure-wise goes. So, let's get straight into it, shall we? So, the GCD changes are up on your screen now, and this is as simple as it gets, guys. This is where your GCDs lie. Also, amongst that is your legendary changes, and this is your legendary abilities from Legion, as well as your artifact ability coming into Battle for Azeroth, and this is what you're going to see. So moving down to the Holy Paladin changes, and the first thing we see straight off the bat is the modifiers have been all changed. The modifiers are what Blizzard implement when you need to keep a spec in check. And what this means is as a raid tier progresses and as people's item levels expand and contract throughout an expansion, Blizzard need to implement modifiers so that, say, the Holy Paladin doesn't get too powerful versus a Discipline Priest, as an example there, guys. So, there your changes there. Now, as we move down, we do see the first major change, which is your Aura Mastery, getting changed from a 6-second to an 8-second duration, but it also affects your Devotion Aura, your Aura of Sacrifice, and your Aura of Mercy a little bit, and we will cover this as we go on, as we will cover those abilities later. So, as we move down, we do see Avenging Wrath having a word change as well as a cooldown and a charge change. So, it has a complete reword, as well as the cooldown has changed from a 2-minute recharge to a 2-minute cooldown, and it now longer has no more charges. So, Beacon of Light is a complete reword here, guys, where it wraps a single target ally in holy energy, causing your heals on other raid or party members to also be healed for 40%. So the ability itself does not change, all it does is has a reword. Now the second part of this is where you directly target that ally with Flash of Light or Holy Light. It also refunds 25% mana, not 30% mana anymore. So Beacon of Light passive has basically changed amongst all that. So Blessing and Protection, we covered this in the Retribution and the Protection videos, where it is getting just a reword. Your Blessing and Sacrifice has changed a little bit, where your cooldown has changed from a 2.5 minute cooldown to a 2-minute cooldown, but other than that it stays pretty much the same. Cleanse sees a cost to your base mana change, so it goes from 13% base mana to 6.5% base mana. Consecration also sees a durational change, where it goes from 9 seconds to 12 seconds. It has also seen a cooldown change from 9 seconds to 4.5 seconds, so you can use this a hell of a lot more. Flash of Light now has a reword and a cost change, and this is where it gets a bit expensive. So it goes from a quick spell to a reword to expends a large amount of mana to quickly heal. So it goes from 18% base mana to 22% base mana. And even though it's only a couple of percent change, it will mean that you've got to sort of think about where you use your whole Flash of Light. Now, Holy Light also sees a mana cost change from 12% to 13%, but 1% in this instance is not going to make or break the spell at all. So your Holy Shock sees that it changes a little bit, where it triggers a burst of light on a target, dealing a certain amount of spell power to an enemy, or a certain amount of healing to an ally. Now, it no longer doubles the critical strike chance, however, it does increase it by 30%, so that is the change done to Holy Shock. Now, as we move down, Judgment also sees a little bit of a reword, where it just rewords it to increases the damage done by your next Crusader Strike or Holy Shock. That's it. Your Judgment works exactly the same. Now, Light Beacon is another one that is confusing to me. I'm not a Holy Paladin player, but if a Holy Paladin player would like to incite me on how Light's Beacon works versus Beacon of Light, because they read very much the same. But overall, it's just getting a reword. Now, your Mastery Lightbringer also is getting a reword, but stays the same. So previously, proximity to your target causes your spells to heal up to 12% more. Now the reword is increasing healing done by up to 12% based on the proximity to target. It's just a reword. It makes it easier to read as you're playing. Now if we scroll down, these are the talent changes, guys. So Beacon of the Lightbringer is getting removed. Fervent Martyr is getting removed, and Avenging Crusader is getting added alongside of Awakening is getting added as well. So Avenging Crusader, it reads a little bit dicey at the moment, and I do very much appreciate my reading of this. So you become the ultimate Crusader of Light, increasing the Crusader Strike, Judgment, and auto attack damage by 30%. Crusader Strike and Judgment cool down 30% faster, and heal up to 3 injured allies for a certain amount of the damage done. Lasts 20 seconds. Now this cost change, this is very important. So the cost change has been moved from 50% of base mana to none. It also, the cooldown changed from a 1 minute cooldown to a 1.5 minute cooldown, and it slots directly into your tier 6 talent. Now, alongside your tier 6 talent is Awakening. Light of Dawn has a 15% chance to grant you Avenging Wrath for 10 seconds now, and that slots into your tier 6 talent slot as well. So as we were talking at the beginning, your Aura of Mercy and Aura of Sacrifice have changed just a little bit. So your Aura of Mercy now heals 3 injured allies within 10 yards for 2 seconds, not 1. Or is that 12? Nope, it's definitely 2 seconds. Aura of Sacrifice has changed just a little bit. Now it, instead of 15% of the effective healing is replicated to all allies, it is 30%, while Aura of Mastery is active. So that is a pretty cool change. Beacon of Faith really is only getting a % change, nothing much there. Beacon of Virtue, now this is getting a little bit of a reword where it applies a beacon of light to your target and 3 injured allies within 30 yards for 8 seconds. All affected allies will be healed for 40% of the amount of your healing of your other healing done. So bit of a reword. Plus you also see that it will refund 25% of your mana, of the mana cost you do. So Bestow Faith has seen a reword. Devotion Aura has seen a reword. Divine Purpose has seen a reword and a very slight cost, percent chance. But that is about it. And Divine Purpose has also been moved to a tier 7 talent by the looks of things. Your Holy Prism has seen quite a lot of rewording here. I'm just going to read this off. Fires a beam of light that scatters and strikes a clump of targets. If the beam is aimed at an enemy target, it deals a certain amount of holy damage, radiates and heals up to 5 injured allies within 15 yards. If the beam is aimed at a friendly target, it heals those targets for a certain amount of spell power, radiates and does damage to 5 nearby enemies within 15 yards. So, bit of a reword, but it works pretty much the same. Your Judgment of Light now causes the next 25 successful attacks, not 40, 25 successful attacks against a target to heal the attacker for a certain amount of spell power, now been dropped to tier level 5. And lastly, guys, your Light Hammer, all it sees right here is a bit of a reword where it hurls a light-infused hammer to the ground, dealing holy damage to all nearby enemies and healing up to 6 nearby allies, every 2 seconds for 14 seconds. So just quite frankly a reword. So overall, guys, I am not a Holy Paladin by any chance, but I would really love to play this in Battle for Azeroth, and I would love to hear from Holy Paladins, just to see if I've read this correctly and if this makes all sense, basically. So guys, thank you so much for staying with me, and I know this is a bit more of a simpler version of the videos and it should be a little bit shorter, so I do apologize for that. But guys, I would also like to mention that I do have a Discord and my Twitch is ready and going now. So if you wish to follow me on Discord or Twitch, the links are in the description below, and it'd be very much appreciated if you guys wanted to come along and view that content. So guys, that is the Holy Paladin, and that covers all Paladin changes leading into Battle for Azeroth. So guys, until next time, have a great day.